Yo guys, what's going on today, and welcome back to City Skylines again, episode 3 this time. The other two episodes were uploaded a little close to each other, and I do apologize about that. It's just like, that night I kind of just stayed up all night, basically, and didn't really want to sit there and wait until a better time to upload. Plus, I uploaded the first episode at like 2 in the morning or something like that, so, or even closer to 3, I'm not even sure. So when that went up, it's sort of, if I'm going to do it tomorrow, do I just upload one during the day? Do I wait until 3 o'clock? Do I wait until like 12? So I just couldn't really decide, so I just uploaded that one at a decent hour, got that out there. If you did miss episode 1 due to the early upload, do apologize. I'll leave a link to that in the description, and then I'll even make a playlist out of this now that there's 3 videos. So yeah, from there, a few things that do need addressing as of right now. I do think we're above the power grid availability at this point, so we're gonna need to address that because, quite frankly, the city kind of needs power to run. Also, we kind of have an aging public transit system going here. It does need a bit of updating due to the plain out fact that, like, you know, there's 2 lines to cover the entire city. That's just not good enough, really. Like I said last episode, we do need to address the schooling situation. We have enough elementary schools, but there's like 1,000 people that are eligible for high school, and we don't have one of those quite yet. And then obviously we're going to be trying to grow the city and drop that employment rate down to about 5%. That'd make me happy for the goals of this episode at least. So from there, I think the first thing we should obviously tackle would be the power grid, because of the fact that it's one of the more urgent things. So if you look here, by the way, I don't know if this was actually an issue for anybody, but it was bugging me. The developer UI is gone and replaced with this city vitals thing here, just to sort of keep an eye on everything without having to really delve into everything there. But so far, this little roundabout has held up to the test of time, and for some reason, last episode, when we ended it, I don't know if anybody watched that coming from that, but if we don't, just to let you know, up in this whole corner didn't have power, but now it's telling me up here that we have enough for now to continue growing the city. I do think we should obviously address the issue while we have a bit of extra money, because of the fact that it can get expensive to fix a power grid, and I don't really want to take out another bank loan. So what I'm going to do is, we've been using coal. I believe these are coal. Yeah, we've been using coal power plants the entire time, so I think it's time to step it up a little bit. These coal power plants produce 40 megawatts, whereas the oil ones produce 120, but do cost $50,000, which is quite expensive, but it is a big upgrade as far as the amount of power you do get out of each plant, so it's more than a worthwhile upgrade. So that should keep electricity availability much higher, which will allow us to grow out the rest of the city with not a huge amount of issues as far as electricity goes. So the second thing was, let's tackle the bus lines here, because we do only have 2. As you can see, it doesn't really doesn't really cover a whole lot of area. All of this place doesn't really get anything at all. So I think if we have one line that goes across here, and then one line that goes like somewhat along here maybe, that should cover the majority of it. Swear to God, like 2 minutes before I planned on starting this episode, I started coughing my lungs out. So I'm hoping that's just gonna piss off within the next like 5 minutes, but we're gonna have to see if that sticks around for a long time. So this is pretty easy to do though. If we just do a bit of this, get some bus lines going. It's a really weird street that I'm working with there, but just do a bit of that. There, one there, and just complete the line by going around that. And that should make a few more people a bit more happy, because now there's another line going across the city over there, and when we eventually do grow this little area that we've got designated out here, I will be obligated to jump this main road out here. And I'm thinking that we should upgrade this to a bigger road because of the fact that it's sort of a feeder into the rest of the city. No one's going to divert off of this. I'm thinking that would be worthwhile for now. But until we get to that point, let's not really worry about that too much. So as far as schooling goes, as you can kind of see, the elementary schools aren't doing too bad. It's only 268 to be exact. I was going to try and round that, but who cares. And a capacity 600, so elementary's not doing bad at all. But as far as high school goes, we don't actually have one of those yet. So it's kind of important, isn't it? So these both cost the same. It's now just a matter of what I want it to look like. So these are rather big, if I'm going to be honest. So let's try and put this there. I'm almost thinking, like, can I squeeze that in between these two bigger roads somehow? No, I can't. Okay, what if... Because I don't want this to be like some ugly outcrop. Well, okay. Maybe I'm trying a little too hard to make that work. They're both the exact same school. I just wanted that because it looks somewhat similar to the other schools, and that would have made me a little bit happy, but I don't think that's 100% worth it at this point, to be honest. So what we're going to do is just plop that there and be done with it. And there's the first high school sitting on its own, looking very, very lonely. So, yeah, that's that. So now, we are going to need bigger roads to go out 1, 2 to there, and then a little bit of that as well, and then just finish those like that. Now I would hook up to here somehow, but as you can see, that's kind of a pain in the ass. And I don't want to add more traffic to this roundabout. I want to keep that completely separated from the rest of the city, because as of right now, this whole situation, by the way, this looks like that's just a useless road, to be honest. Meaning, then I can sort of streamline this to make it so it's just like, there you go. Oh, and I should really make that one way, because the rest of it is all one way. So let's just, I know I have unique building aesthetics, I really don't care. So there's that done. So I did really want to keep this sort of separated from the rest of the city, because until I can get a proper highway off-ramp into the city, this is going to be a very high traffic area, and as smoothly as I can keep this going, the better, and I don't need to add traffic by adding in another intersection somewhere along here, because as you can see, this is working relatively pretty well. So I want to try and keep this going as well as it can for as long as I can. That's my thinking, at least. So already I'm seeing that there's going to be a bit of a backup coming up pretty soon. So I'm thinking if I were to move these, well, maybe just one. I don't really need the other one moved. And then get rid of that as well. And just make this into a slightly higher density road. Because the majority of traffic coming in is going to be off of the highway to go to the industrial zone, which is just literally all of them you can see streaming down this road here. So funneling it down isn't going to be a huge issue, but getting it to stay sort of, and as you can see, like everybody's turning left, and all of these lanes can all turn left at the same time. So that really does, I'm thinking, still hoping, that that'll keep traffic down to at least a pretty good number. So that shouldn't be too bad from there. We'll add a bit more residential there, but just because of the noise pollution and the amount of traffic coming in there, it just makes a little bit more sense to make that not residential. So then this can all be residential though, so can that. Not really a huge amount of demand for anything right now, if I'm honest. We aren't really growing out at all as far as demand goes. But there is a bit of residential, so people will eventually build. You just gotta give it a little bit more time, I guess. Yeah, but what else do we need to get done? We've gotten education somewhat solved from there. I'm actually just going to replace that. We've gotten education somewhat solved. Graduation rate has gone up from 32 to 48% already, which is very good as far as I'm concerned. So that's a good start. And the eligible 763 students, that's more than enough capacity. And 752 out of 763, meaning there's not a lot of dropouts either, which is, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But as far as that medical clinic went, I should really replace that because I did just smash that one into the floor and act like it wasn't an issue. So I really should get that on the go. But now, as you can see, there's a bit more demand for stuff again. So let's go ahead and start working here. Highest demand right now are these guys, but I'm guessing that pretty soon they're gonna be wanting a bit bigger. So if we do this, we don't really need a huge amount of fucking hell. We don't need a huge amount of blocks in this, as he makes a shit ton of them, but we can just kind of afford to do that, and maybe zone up that as well. We'll see what's needed more there, and then zone accordingly. Do apologize about that. I'm sure that's very annoying. Seriously? As I'm attempting to apologize, that's what's happening. I should really go and grab a water. But we'll try and keep this going here. So now it's more just really a huge amount of residential is wanted more than anything else. So I want to start building apartments, but I don't have the population for that quite yet. So what I'm gonna do is just make. Oh, this is a one-way street. That could be not a bad thing, though. If we do a bit of that, keep that like that. I'm just gonna give that an experiment. I've never actually tried that before. I don't even know if it'll work very well or not. But we're about to find out. So let's just hear me out on that. Am I really trying to make up for the fact that I'm just too lazy to go back and take back that tiny little thing and actually build a 2-lane road? I think I am, because these are extremely one-way roads. You can't really go anywhere else. But I'm telling myself that that's... If you can't tell I'm a lazy piece of shit, if you really can't tell, I think you got some issues there, buddy. So that is that. Now, as far as, where was the employment rate? I've already dropped, well, I mean, I didn't intentionally do it, but I have dropped unemployment to 4%, which I've now hit all of the goals that I set out at the beginning of the episode here. So now, I've still got like 6 minutes to kill. I don't know if I should just end it early, or just continue growing this until the 20-minute-ish mark. Yeah, no. Basically, for the next 6 or 7 minutes combined, I just sit there and you get to watch me repeat the same task over and over and over again. It's not interesting gameplay. I don't think anybody wants to actually sit there and watch me do that. So basically, to recap what I've actually accomplished in that little tiny bit of time, all that I actually got done was completing a few blocks and then meander around the entire city looking at possible things that might go wrong. So really, I'm not going to waste your time on that. I'm just going to end the video here. Yeah, I'm just going to do the outro now. You know the drill. I'm just going to say the same thing every single time anyways. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Next time I'll actually lay out a few more things to do, just in case I happen to run into that again. I want to keep these videos around 20 minutes long because that's still a watchable amount of time and gives me enough of time as well to actually continue making these videos and make them actually productive, not just pointless little skips of random crap. So if you did enjoy the video, please do drop a like, hit the subscribe button if you're new so that this daily series actually gets uploaded into your sub box, and I guess I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.